So there was a couple of things I wanted to read to you regarding the Idaho 4 Moscow murders case that were posted just on the 26th. They are two statements by expert testimony and witnesses that are trying to be brought into trial by the defense, and this is Matthew Noedel and Cy Ray. I do want to read what they have submitted to the court because it is very damning for the prosecution, and instead of me summarizing these, I am going to do a multi-part series of reading them to you. I'm putting on hold reading the redacted January 23rd hearing. I will finish that. I actually have gotten to page 122 so far. It's out of 175, so I will resume that. But this is so important that I wanted to bring it to you as soon as possible. After reading it myself, it's mind-blowing. So this particular video is going to be about the expert Matthew Noedel, and it's a 2-page thing that he posted about himself and who he is and what his background is, and then his expert opinion on this case. So I will read that to you now, and then I will do another video about Cy Ray. His is a little bit longer, so I might have to do multiple videos on that one. So just make sure you like and subscribe so that you can keep up to date on these and read them or listen to them at your leisure, because I know that sometimes it's hard to sit and listen. But if you're driving or you're doing dishes or something, put this on, listen to me, and prepare to have your mind blown. Okay, so the top says Declaration of Matthew Noedel. And it says, I, Matthew Noedel, swear under penalties of perjury that the information in this declaration is true and correct to the best of my knowledge. Number 1, my name is Matthew Noedel. Number 2, I am an adult over the age of 18 and I have personal knowledge of the facts set forth in this affidavit. Number 3, I am a forensic scientist with degrees in microbiology, medical technology, and forensic science, certifications in firearms, tool marks, gunshot residue, and laser scanning. My total experience includes over 38 years working exclusively in forensic science, as outlined in the attached CV. Number 4, I have been retained as a consultant by the defense in Mr. Kohberger's case. One of my key roles in this case is to assist the defense team in investigating and reconstructing the scene, meaning the house that was torn down. Still don't understand why it was torn down, but whatever. During the course of my work, I have had the opportunity to observe the scene. I conducted a 3D scan of the scene at the first opportunity provided to the defense. The purpose of 3D scanning a scene is to understand and depict the way a scene appeared and be able to troubleshoot the scene in a to-scale manner. It is imperative to acquire the scans appropriately and register, i.e. stitch them together, the scans accurately to ensure they meet evidentiary standards for further troubleshooting the events. Number 6, I am aware that the state has conducted at least one set of scans, and he puts in parentheses, that depicts only the 2 rooms with the deceased in situ acquired in the first hours of the investigation, end parentheses, and a report that indicated a second set of 3D scans was acquired on or around November 1st, 2023. Here's the kicker. So mind you, they had done one right at the beginning of the case, and then they went back and did a second set of that house before it was taken down, right? Because they thought they had to go to trial in October. But here's November 1st, 2023. But the data had not been produced until recently, March 14th, 2025. Today is March, 29th? That was about 15 days ago, just about 2 weeks ago. He finally received the data, not even the completed thing. They didn't reconstruct the house. They haven't done anything with the data. It is the raw data, and he just received it 2 weeks ago. To be exact, 15 days. So, and there's discovery deadlines in this case. Why are they not being upheld to that? I mean, if Ann did the same thing, do you think Hippler, the judge, would allow that? No. So why are they allowed to do this type of stuff? And why would they want to in such a important case, But prior to March 14, 2025, I have been provided with only the early scan data that depicts 2 rooms in the house. And you kind of wonder, why didn't they do the whole house at the beginning, not just the 2 rooms? Number 7, recently I was made aware that the state had intended to use the previously unproduced data from the second set of 3D scans to build a replica model of the residence and associated topography for trial. I have only recently been provided with scan data and have not seen the final product, model, or other data that builders of the model intend to rely upon. I have been provided with the details as to how the data from the 3D scans will be incorporated I have not been provided with the details as to how the data from the 3D scans will be incorporated into a demonstrative model or how the model may be used in presentation to the jury. Number 8, I have concerns about any replica utilized for trial that has not been verified as to scale. Given the unique layout of the house, any misrepresentation of where a wall is, or where a door was located, or what the actual line of sight was, will be misleading and could cause a jury to place significance on something that is not accurate. Utilizing a replica that is not to scale will invite speculation and confuse the jury. Number 9. In addition, I have been informed that the model will not have any furniture. This is important because how things, have you ever been in an empty house and it echoes like crazy because there's no furniture, there's no fabric, there's nothing for the sounds to bounce off of, so they just kind of echo and bounce all over the place because there's nothing to absorb it. That's what would happen if they don't put anything in the scene. Something might be in the way of a line of sight, or it might be smaller, more congested in a space than we thought without any furniture in it. So it's not an accurate depiction of the crime scene. So that's why he's concerned about that. The model will not have any furniture, original materials, or other objects that take up space in the normal layout of the residence. The absence of these features can influence the appearance of spatial relationships as they actually existed and were captured in original photos and video. While it is unclear at this time the intended use of the model, these are concerns I currently have incorporating such a model at this late stage of the event analysis. Number 10. Finally, on March 14, 2025, I was provided with the data from which the model will be built. The data includes over 100 individual 3D scans that have been stitched together and include not only the residence but the topography of the surrounding landscape. Assessing this data will take considerable time, and then examining the finished product and verifying scale, dimension, and completeness will take additional time on top of that. By way of reference, it will take at least a full day, if not more, just to download the data from the server. Number 11. Once the download has been completed, the analysis will take approximately 1 or 2 days to assess the scanned data. After my analysis of the scanned data is complete, I will need to arrange a viewing of the exhibit and a description as to how the scanned data was translated into the actual physical exhibit needs to be provided. And number 12. Traveling to examine the model created and documenting what may be needed to further assess it are things that are not built into my schedule at this time. I will need to schedule this additional examination around other commitments previously made and find the time to travel from the Seattle area to wherever the model is stored approximately 1 day, and then assess and document the model on a second day with return travel later that day. The earliest available times for such a turnaround given my schedule start around the week of April 7, 2025. With hit and miss appointments and testimonies scheduled within that time frame. And he submitted this on March 24th, 2025. So there you have it. They basically did 2 scans, one at the beginning and one later on November 1st, 2023. The defense had not received, or their expert had not received the data until just about 15 days ago to be exact. And he's saying it's going to take a long time. I've done 3D scans of properties myself. They take time to develop. So you kind of have to download them and make sure everything's stitching together correctly. And then he has to go in with his expertise and make sure everything is actually to scale and where it should be. And then he's saying that they're not going to include any of the furniture and things inside. And that makes a difference. And that's why it was so important that this house have not been torn down like it was, because people could have walked in there. Yes, a lot of stuff probably was taken out for evidentiary purposes. But as far as being on the first level and then having someone on the second level or the third level to see what you could actually hear in that house, it would have been helpful. So this was the first testimony that I wanted to read to you. I also want to show you Cy Ray's as well, because that was really damaging for the prosecution, and you guys have to hear this word for word for how he said it. So make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Be kind in the comments, and thanks for watching.